see the leaf bud. These are apples coming into bud. And this is the patch that I'm going to grass seed today. And the first thing I do is, this was covered by carpet from since we got here, because underneath are these huge, I can't see any around, cow parsley, brambles. You can see the brambles in the background invaded. So it's been covered actually for almost as long as we've been here. The orchard was full of weeds, snarling up everything when we first came. And so I pulled back the carpet, found a nice lot of red ants biting my ankles. Got a couple of different rakes. It's quite hard because we've had a lot of dry weather. So I've started to scour the surface, which I'll show you in a bit. And I get a load, I've got water. I've got my favourite thing for scouring the surface here. This is actually a weeder, but I won't go too deep because I don't want to start. Oh, there's the beginning of cow parsley there. Oh, and it's got a big root. It's one of those big rooty ones. I've got my seed. I've got a mixing load of compost. And what I do is I tend to mix the seed in with the compost. Guess the amounts. I'll work it out later with you. And then I scatter it over the area. It just makes it easier weeding and seeding. And separately I'll do a tray of seed so I can plug any holes. Here's my faithy tool, man's tool thingy. What's it? Shouldn't say man, should I? With the tools I'll need, which I collect up. My kneading pad in case there's some naughty weeds there. Some thick new gloves. Ooh, aren't I the posh thing? For the brambles, if I have a little go at those while I'm here. Some bird scarers, your old CD-ROMs and string to scare the birds off. They don't like it. Really important you scare the birds off. And my trusty hand hoe. And of course, you know, my very good bent. I've got a posh one of these. I've got one of these that isn't bent, but I'm still using it, my weedy thing, in case I get hand weeder, in case I find some corkers down there. Might do a bit of weeding around while we finish. So that was just, I like to get prepared before. Have got some weed, and there's no water at this end much. We run it all off, so I bring a barrel over and wheel it back and forth. So that's preparation. See here, it's pretty solid ground. And here I've just started using the, what I call my heavy duty, not my leaf one, my heavy duty rake to scour the surface. And you can see I'm going to go backwards and forwards, side to side, all over this patch until it's done. I like to break up jobs between raking because it can be such a dull thing at different heights and around. Got a couple more to put up later, and you'll see that I've just had the first go at breaking up the soil a little bit. I don't want to go too deep because I know the more you rake it up, the more you might rake up weeds you don't want. But hopefully if we keep it nice and watered and tended, the grass will come through come what may. And I'm just playing around with a mix now. This is seed for Shady because it's a very, very shady area, as you can see around here. And this is the mud pie bit where I just stir it all in. I've just put one bowl of seed. Use all sorts of things that you can't get rid of, plastic stuff that, you know, recycle it. One bowl of seed. That looks about right actually. With compost, and that's why I'm less worried about the tilth, because this is going to have its own tilth, and then I will cover it with it's all nothing like getting your hands in. Oh, it's good, it's all down there, good. Want to make sure it's well mixed in. That looks about right to me. I put a little bit extra in for the birds. They always used to say in the old days when they farmed, you come to put an extra one for me and one for the birds, which is probably going to be appropriate given it's spring and they'll be wanting to feed soon. And then all I'm going to do is grab that. Ooh, this is the lovely bit. You can see where you've been as well. And go a little bit over the edges. Great fun. I'm not worried about if it's a bit too thick in some bits and thin in others. I can patch later. But I do want to make sure I go slightly over this boundary. Well, I'm going to have to pick up some of these weeds because they're going to go straight through this. It's guesswork at the moment. It looks about. I've got probably a little bit more than I need because I've still got quite a bit left. That's good. Good judgment, girl. Fun trying to do it with one hand and film at the same time. But you get the gist. And it'll creep in from there anyway. So there you go. And then all I'm going to do is go and get some straight soil and cover that up. Which I could have brought. It's over here. Yikes! There's my little plastic bag. And then I'm going to put some straight multi-compost. I'm going to treat them as multi-compost because I haven't got a lot of soil this year. I need it for the allotment. And then I'll just show you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to grab and then cover it. And then we'll water it down from there. And you can see where you've been, okay? Great fun. So you can see there the covered bit in the far distance. Some my little bird hangers there. And that handful, that bucketful, small bucketful, has done almost the whole patch. The patch is about 2 metres by about 3 metres. So I'd say that small bucketful, a couple of those bowls, 1 bowl of seed has almost done this whole patch. So you don't need a great deal. And I tend to prefer to be generous, but you're going to have to patch it up anyway. When the little monsters come and eat it all, and we won't know till tomorrow who's eating what. Put up your bird scarers. I'll also cut some hazel in a bit. We're very, very lucky that we've got the old hazel here, and we get the top and we stick that in, and that will stop the birds. It's the mice I always worry about. And what I'll do is I will trample down the soil once it's all completely covered to bed everything in. Maybe scatter a bit more soil, I don't know, maybe not at this point. And then water it down, and you'll see the finished bit in a bit. And then beyond that, I just come and keep an eye on it. You can put down black thread on skewers, you know, tent skewers, across it at about 6-inch heights, which will stop the birds coming, but it won't stop those monkeys of mice. So we just have to see how it goes. It's a very dry patch. What I'm going to do is I'll dampen that down. And you can see that where I've dampened it, it's already starting, I can't do it very well with one hand, it's starting to crumble, whereas this bit is rock hard, it's difficult. And have a go at that, and then I might add a bit of compost on that before I plant the seeds. I don't believe in hard work if I can avoid it. Pretty much done here now. Just used loads of wood around. It's taken me in total about 2 working hours altogether. Stopping for lunch and all that kind of thing, taking it at an easy pace. It's a deterrent, we'll see what happens. Just an obstacle course for the mice and the birds, and we'll just see what happens. If 30-40% of the seed come up, great, we've got a base.